Right, so our top story at the South African Municipal Workers Union in the Johannesburg Region has welcomed the ruling by the High Court in the Gauteng Division that has found the termination of 130 City of Johannesburg employee contracts unlawful. The 130 employees' contracts were terminated in February of 2022. They were informed that their contracts were terminated following allegations of the illegal conversions of their contracts from fixed to permanent employment. So SAMWU's Provincial Treasurer Karabo Ramahuma now joins us via video link to give us an account of the employees in this regard. Karabo, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the SABC at this hour.
Good afternoon, Lizelle, and good afternoon to listeners of SABC.
Let's get your reaction to the court's ruling that was handed down. City of Johannesburg says it will now work towards abiding by the court directives following the ruling. What are the workers' sentiments at this point as we speak?
Our sentiment is the same sentiment that we held, that what was happening was just a racist rant from a Zionist DA-led government advised by matricless Steinhazen. So our feeling also is that this should be a big lesson, especially to racist political parties like DA, that when they enter public space, there's rule of law. We are happy that the current GLU government has taken a sober posture of saying they are not intending to, oppose this or appeal it, but rather as a government that is law-abiding, they would work expeditiously to restore justice and to restore the dignity of our members.
On the back of that, have you had any talks with the COJ in terms of the way forward, the issue of back pay, even positions of the newly reinstated workers? I mean, what is going to be acceptable from your vantage point?
We obviously would be formally sitting down with them, but because unlike the previous racist government, these ones are accessible. We have actually started informally engaging as at when the judgment was passed, but more intensely today. I know that I had spoken to a number of them, especially at corporate services. So it's in our view, it should be all systems go on Monday. We are not anticipating any hiccup, especially with the positive attitude that is demonstrated by the current GLU government. But needless to say, we would also, want to say, much as it's their attitude, what is due to ours, it's clear as per the court, it's retrospective, dates back to February of 2 years back from today, that is February of 2022. So what would be acceptable to us is that those members must be restored to the positions that they were. They must be restored to, and by position, I don't mean the actual position. Maybe some may have been filled. By position, I mean the financial position. If Karabo was employed as a driver and was earning X amount, there should not be stories. And even the retrospective payment, they must factor in that. Factoring in, including the balance, the pension contribution,
yes,
and all that, yes.
Okay,
so they must be fully restored. That's our understanding.
Okay, so as you work out the nitty-gritties of that as per the court order, I just wanted to also get your thoughts on what transpired during the different dispensations. What are your thoughts about how the workers were initially appointed in the first place? Did you have any say in that, or do you just represent the workers? Look,
how the workers were employed. They were employed in a regular manner that was informed at the time, and even now, and if was to take into account, City of Johannesburg at the time of employing these members or converting them from fixed term to permanent, relied on its policies, established policies that were adopted by the city as early as 2012. They did not invent something new to benefit people as Mpopalazi and Leonard were intimating, without facts but with highly charged emotions. These people were employed based on a policy of a city, and as a union, we would not have qualms when the city follows the rule of law. At the time of the employment, there was nothing untoward. There was nothing that necessitated the union to intervene. For crying out loud, in fact, we were pleased, we were happy that at least there's job security now. Young black professionals who have went to school, taken their time off the street, are now permanently employed. That also meant that the rate and level of service delivery would improve. There would be some measure of stability, so we're happy. We did not have a problem. Our problems began in February of 2022 after DA then took power. I'm sure they wanted to import their people from Western Cape, as they normally do where they hold power, to come and occupy positions in Gauteng, as if in Gauteng municipalities there aren't black professionals. You know what they do? In one of the municipalities in Gauteng, they've hired a bodyguard for in a very highly specialized technical position, a bodybuilder, somebody whose only qualification is a bodybuilder. And you contrast that with Johannesburg. In Johannesburg, they dismiss people who some hold 2 master's of different disciplines, people who have honors, who have master's, people who come with immense work experience from the private sector, At the time of their dismissal, one of them, it was a very dark era, but we knew, we were relentlessly behind them as our members. We knew that justice will prevail. The wheels of justice may at times take time to turn, but we had faith in them as the judgment vindicates us. At that time, some of the things that would keep their spirits high, one of them too would post every time, I'm graduating. Yes.
I was asking that, just looking at, what were the skill set of those who had been let go, and you have answered that. You did say that they were masters and honors students as well. Perhaps on the question of politically linked appointments, can you confirm what percentage of those, were initially on politically linked roles? And when you then came in to represent the workers, I just wanted to know what lessons then can be learned, because obviously a new administration came in. And so the question about why would that administration keep, members who are not politically aligned to them also? Just help us understand that as we navigate this.
Maybe let's clarify that. In the local government space, officials don't do political work. There aren't any politically linked employees. Employees would be employed on a contract that is linked to a term of office of a politician. But a person who's hired in that contract would be doing professional work that requires highly technical skills, like your researchers, for instance.
Yes.
When you see politicians speaking about statistics as if they've sat and studied, these poor young professionals would have spent sleepless hours during the night preparing this information for them. So people like those are people who would then say to this politician that we've been tracking the issues of service delivery at various places. These are the stats, these are the things that they are raised. So we can't say those people are doing political work. They are doing work that enhances service delivery. Their only crime is that their employment was linked to a term of office of a politician. It is for that reason that the then government that made them that made them permanent wanted to correct that very same situation, to say, why do you take a person with a master's and link him to a politician when he's not there to do politics but is there to enhance service delivery? Let's look at the positions that they occupy. Anything assistant director downwards, there are no basis legally. There's nothing that makes sense in terms of wanting to hire those people on contract basis. It drains the skills in the city.
All right, Karabo, thank you for weighing in and for your time on the matter. Of course, we're just getting reactions from SAMWU. It's Provincial Treasurer Karabo Ramahuma joining us via video link to unpack. We know that the SAMWU in the Johannesburg region has now welcomed the ruling by the High Court in the Gauteng Division, found that obviously the termination of the 130 City of Johannesburg employee contracts were deemed unlawful by the High Court.